You don't need to lean on anything.
Look at this. We have
Lean
all
on your
this room.
confidence.
Just
Okay.
cut off.
Here, baby. Why don't I go ahead and move this closer?
That's not going to do anything. You need to scooch.
Baby, you know we're live on Facebook, right?
You need to scooch your booty. Scooch
Listen.
booty. Scoot your booty. What's up, y'all? Module 3. We're here. Day 3, module 3.
Okay,
What's
let me
up?
make sure
What's
we're
up?
recording. Oh, we're live. Baby, you know we're live.
Fired up, jacked up, and excited.
What is this?
Trying to
hair?
just get in the screen.
This is when you
I'm just
know
gonna train
you're
like-
on a mission, when
train
your
like
hair
this.
is up
Does this
in
look
the
creepy?
air like it does care. Baby, focus. What is happening? Kyla Woods is in the house.
Is anyone
Maggie
else
is in the
excited?
house. Rhonda is in the house. Cecilia is here.
I should have wore my ATM
Yeah.
your face off.
Well, there is this thought that came to you too late.
I feel like you're more dressed up than me today.
For sure, it's true.
I was hot yesterday.
Well, please.
Well, please. It was because of you.
Be reasonable. Be reasonable.
It was all that sex appeal. Your aura. Your
All right,
Russian
baby.
aura.
I see what's happening here. We need to focus on the task
I'm
at hand.
focused, all right. Y'all, today's going to be intense. We're going to talk about
you're ready for this
ATM
one.
prospecting. We're going to talk follow-up
Okay.
and closing. You're going to want to take notes.
That's
Those
right.
of you that have our ATM Business Academy, you're going to be thankful that you do. You're going to be thankful you have access to these recordings. Those of you that don't have it, it's okay. You can watch this for the next 24 hours. I hope you got a lot of value out of session 1, session 2, but today is session 3, and it's my favorite conversation, baby.
I know.
We want to help you make money. Bottom line, we want to help you build your MBA, your massive bank account. And I think we can all appreciate that. You know, a business like this is tough. Business is tough. Life is tough. But if you can study and identify what is most effective to create results, and you build up your belief, you build up your confidence, right? You get good at mastering the mundane and mastering, the closing conversation. So you can put some M's in your bank account, right? How many of us want some checks with commas? Let us know in the comments if you want checks with commas, but we're going to give you some scripts, some language. Language is essential.
Everything.
If you want to be successful in business, especially in a business like this, they used to say, and people still say this, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, the wrong thing to the right person. I agree with the first part.
Okay.
Right? You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. True. But you can say the wrong thing to the right person. And here's how I know. I've done it. Right? I've talked people in and out of the business. Within the same conversation. Didn't ask any questions. Awesome. Made it all about what I was excited about and not about what they're excited about. And the truth is, when people are first hearing about an opportunity, they're learning about the products, the compensation plan, the business, et cetera, they only retain 7 to 10%. So I want you to think about this for a second.
Okay.
The information you're going to hear today, 90% of it you're going to forget, which is why we encourage note-taking.
That's right.
That's why we encourage you purchasing the Academy. So you have lifetime access. That's up to you. We're not here to sell and convince you to invest in your business. But at the end of the day, learning these skills and our success, the success we've had, we couldn't help other people if we didn't learn these skills first.
Right.
So you got to get good at this stuff so that you can teach other people. You can mentor people within your organization. I'm sure we can all appreciate that. So share this conversation, tag some people that need to hear this, share this in your team Facebook groups, and we're going to get into it. I'm excited.
I know. Okay. So let me give you a little bit of housekeeping, if you will, just to future pace for a beautiful time together. So today we are going into ATM prospecting, follow-up, close. We're going to go through the scripts. We also wanted to help you get organized and bring you some productivity hacks as well. So for those of you that really love to systemize and optimize, I promise you, this is the session you want to ensure that you stay until the very end. Now, I do like to take little commercial breaks and do like giveaways and do a little stop and check in with you. So as you're taking notes, I would recommend that you are jotting down if you have questions as we're going through the content. So when we give you those opportunities to ask away, so that way it also helps us ensure that there's no, I want to call them failure points
Right.
in this particular module. So today our goal is to elevate you from, where you are. Maybe you think about what is your effectiveness on the scale of 1 to 10. Let us know in the comments. Matter of fact, where do you feel is your skill set when it comes to prospecting, follow up, and close on a scale of 1 to 10? And our goal today is to 10 exit.
Yeah.
So I hope you're ready for that. So let me go ahead and share my slides. Let's understand. And by the way, if this is your very first session, I'm really curious to see how many of you
Good question.
how many of you guys have been with us for the first 2 sessions? So this is session number 3 with you. If you're brand new to the recording of this and you're just playing a little bit of catch up, let us know if you're brand new. But essentially, what is happening for those of you that are new is John and I right now, we're essentially re-recording the curriculum for our flagship academy called ATM Business Academy. And instead of us just sitting down in front of our computer and talking to ourselves, right, and visualizing you on the other end, we decided, hey, why don't we give you an opportunity to watch us record this whole thing live. And then this is the agenda. So every day this week, we're showing up and we're teaching one module. And then as soon as the recording is done, we're leaving it up for you to go back and review for 24 hours. So if you are not a student of our ATM Business Academy, you get to kind of get this amazing sneak peek. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to enroll in anything. Now, for those of you that are already ATM students, well, the cool thing is once all of the recordings are done, and once we put our finishing touches on the PDFs, downloads, final, replays, right? We're going to edit it a little bit and we're going to put it together into an uplifted, I want to call it baby, uplifted member area. And you're going to get grandfathered into this curriculum. And once all the processing is done, the price of our ATM Academy is going up to $297. Now, for those of you that go, hey, you know what? I really would love to get my hands on the recordings, on all of the PDFs that you guys are reviewing.
And can I just say, those PDFs are fire.
Yeah.
Nadia and her team make the most
amazing,
beautiful PDFs, so organized, great content, appealing to the eye candy.
You have to have it, not overwhelming.
Sorry to cut you off.
All of the things.
The scripts.
Anyways, but just take down the website, mylifestyleacademy.com/live offer. So essentially we're giving you a super crazy discount. And if you choose to go ahead and enroll, you're going to get an amazing deal. You're going to get access to the old member area. And over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see all of this beautiful content, super optimized, and you're going to see it in the member area. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that. And then this recording is going to be available for you until tomorrow at 11:59 a.m. And then before we go live with session 4, module number 4, we're going to take it down. Okay.
And yes, it's $97 one time if you were to purchase the course this week.
Okay.
After that, it'll be $297.
And okay, you guys, I know that over the last 2 days, we've been quizzing you, and thank you so much for all of your amazing feedback, all of the quote unquote, I want to say like review of like your experience with us. So if you really want to honor John and I and our team, I'd love to ask you to just take a screenshot of this. Essentially what we did on our business page is we activated an opportunity for you to leave a review about your experience. So if you feel you want to invest a couple minutes to make us feel like $1 million and just to give us some feedback, we would love you extra. And at the end of the week, we're actually going to do a raffle. So all of you beautiful people that go ahead and go to that link, leave a review, your biggest takeaways or what you've learned from following us, or even this week, we're going to put your name into a raffle, and we're actually going to raffle out one of our favorite business tools. Hold on to your seat, please. You may want to put a seat belt on for this one, but we're going to give away a Diva ring light.
Ooh.
I know. I know, it's crazy. So because you know what it is, when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you crush it. And part of our conversation we had yesterday was all about you showing up and mastering live video, you showing up and doing more storytelling, creating that curiosity content, really getting your traction marketing strategy dialed in. And so if you're going to be showing up on video, you're going to be taking pictures. This Diva ring light is just money. Retail price is hundreds of dollars. So we're going to raffle one of those away at the end of the week. So I want to encourage you, take a screenshot, make sure you leave us a review. We'd love you extra. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. Module 3, ATM prospecting, follow-up, close, and scripts. So be ready to take notes. And let's do this. What's your biggest fear? Let us know in the comments. Is it A, popping the question too soon? Is it B, building rapport for too long? Or C, sounding like an infomercial with commission breath?
What's yours, baby?
Good morning.
What's yours?
Natasha says, oh my gosh, rain light. Right, Cecilia?
What's your answer
That's
to
awesome.
this? What's your answer?
What is my answer? I mean,
I think building rapport for too long.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Mel says C, sounding like an infomercial. Okay, let's do a poll.
I think C is a big one also.
Kyla says all three.
Nobody wants to be annoying.
C,
C is definitely the most popular.
Dominant, definitely.
But I think a lot of us, we build rapport because we're honestly afraid to pop the question. I think that's a big fear, is that, it's like, I'm just going to keep building rapport, hoping they bring it up. And look, you should, in my opinion, whether it's an old friend or a new friend, you should always build some connection, find out a little bit about the person, because I look at it like this. I don't want to enroll just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people where once I get to know them a little bit, like, you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but you can flip through the first couple pages, get the idea, right? So look at it like you're interviewing people. You're not just asking questions and getting to know people so that you can pitch them. That's when we make it about us. And it's not really about us. It's about the person and the opportunity that could literally change their life. So prospecting is an income producing activity. And I think it's really important to understand that this is something we can control. Every single day, we can proactively reach out to people and ask them if they're open. If they're open to the opportunity, if they're open to taking a look at what we do. Now, on the flip side, there's nothing better than having someone reach out to you. We talked a lot about that in module 2. But ultimately, you can't sit back twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the people to come to you. So we need to be very proactive in order to build a profitable business, which I'm pretty sure that's why you're here. That's why you're invested in this program. You want a profitable business. You have to proactively reach out. You have to pop the question. You got to get organized. You got to keep track of the people that are interested. If someone's interested in the products, they're interested in the business, you got to keep track of those people, because most people don't join after one conversation. And you need a system. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. Write that down. So we really cover 5 steps throughout this program. And a lot of the content we put out there, it revolves around these 5 steps. Step 1, prospecting and attracting leads. People that raise their hand, people that are expressing interest. This is something you should do every day, meaning creating conversations. You know what? In fact, let's take out the word prospecting with making friends. Now, of course, prospecting and popping the question is a money-making activity, but also I think the people that are most successful in prospecting and having success inside of this profession for almost 20 years, it's relationship building. It's being a human first and a marketer second. That's why we lead with so much value. And I want to build authentic relationships, especially with good humans, good people. Even if someone never buys from me, they never join me, who cares? If they're a good person, I want to have that connection. In fact, I'll tell you this, some of the biggest business that I've had come into my organization, some of the biggest leaders, biggest producers, some of the money that we've made in our career has come from people that referred us to their network. They referred us to a leader. They referred us to their organization. So it's not always about this person and having that transactional mindset of this person. How are they making me money? Does that make some sense? Step 2. So you want to prospect people. You want to attract people that are open to your products or opportunity. Step 2 is really connecting, being a human first, marketer second. Yes, we want people to take a look at the information. Yes, we want people to join our team. Obviously, we want people buying our products, but it can't just be about that. The people that typically struggle when it comes to selling and recruiting are people that are either A, always selling and recruiting, or B, they're secret agents. They never mention their business. They never talk about their product because they're so afraid of rejection. Where are you, by the way? Are you a secret agent? Do you sometimes feel like you're a secret agent? Or are you the person that maybe the only time you interact with people? And hopefully most of the people that follow us are not like this. Hopefully you've learned that from us over the years or over the weeks or months or however amount of time you've been following us. But the people that I think give network marketing and direct sales a bad reputation are those people that the only time they interact or engage with someone is when they're pitching and selling. Yuck, right? Commission breath, like we talked about. Step 3, inviting people to take a look at the information. We're not here to do a presentation. We're here to do an invitation. We want to invite people into the group. If they're open, great. If not, no big deal. We'll talk about that today. Step 4, this is a big part of our conversation inside of module 3, is the follow up and the close. You can leverage group chats. We want you to keep track of every person you ATM, every person you add into the groups. The fortune is truly in the follow up. We're going to help you identify those money-making activities, those daily tasks. We're going to talk goal setting, all the things that help you create the success you desire. And then step 5, this is the biggest piece to the puzzle. It's having a system to save yourself time, energy, and money, to plug your new social marketer, your new distributor, your new ambassador, your new recruit. We want to plug them into the system to learn the other 4 steps. In network marketing, it's all about leadership development. We want to create independence within our organization. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't it make sense that we would want to create independence so people can create success without our involvement? Now, of course, in the beginning, you want to be there to support someone, but you want to know after 6 months, 12 months, 2 years of working with an individual that they're at the point where they can start their own teams. They can acquire their own customers. They don't even need you. I think that's what we're all looking for long term.
And then module number 4, this is going to be a really good one. We're going to get into the team building, onboarding, leadership, duplication. That's really for those of you that really want to create that legacy success, legacy wealth inside network marketing. You got to get good at it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it, baby. Let us do a check-in. I like to sometimes, how many of you can just breathe a little easier once you get grounded in the facts, right? And here are the facts. Let's identify how many friends do you have right now? And let's just focus on Facebook. In module number 2, we talked a little bit about your social media infrastructure, mastering one social media platform at a time. And then once you do, you can begin to diversify your efforts. But for today's training, let's just only focus on Facebook. Right. Now, can you go ahead and integrate all these systems and principles to other platforms? Absolutely. But let's just talk about your Facebook profile. I'm assuming already you optimized your infrastructure. So you went through and tweaked a couple things, right? You're putting forward your beautiful personal brand out there. You have the followers button. And now let's talk about how many friends do you have on your personal profile? Okay, drop that into the comments. And number 2, and here's a really big question, is how many of them have you spoken to about your business or your products? And we're going to add in the last 6 months. And I want you to think percentages. So I'm seeing 5,000 people, 3,500 people, 289, 500, 350.
And leaders, I want you to pay attention to this. As we talked about in module 2, think like a leader. So you might say, oh, I've talked to a lot of my friends. I've talked to a lot of the people I'm connected with about my products and opportunity. But what about your team? And I think what shocked me was the amount of people on my team that had not talked to more than like 80 or 90% of their contacts. Right. Now, some of them were brand new, but some of them had been involved for like a year or 2 and they still had not talked to, they had not approached. the majority of people they were friends with. Now, I think a big part of that is belief, right? Belief in themselves, belief that they can help people, belief in the company, belief in the products. It's a combination of things. But like, Jennifer here says 3,700 friends, 1%. Now, Jennifer, don't feel bad. 1% is better than 0%. But leaders, look at this. Look at these answers. Cecilia, 10%. That's very normal. Now, Ellen's actually talked to 40% out of 4,800, which is very impressive, right? Because that's what, 800 people. Wait, no, 1,600 people, right?
Wow,
so
good
about
job.
1,600, 1,700 people, but that's still 60% of her people she has not talked to, right? Sabrina, 75%. That's actually really high. That's rare. Chessie, less than 2%. Bernard, 1%. Now, the reason for most people, I don't want to speak for everybody, because some of you might be brand new with your company. Some of you might have other income streams, other things you're focused on. Maybe you don't have big goals, although I would assume anybody investing in this program that's here and learning, they are serious. And if you have big goals, big dreams, big aspirations, but you're not backing it up with big action, big activity, big numbers, big production, you're not going to get those goals that you desire. You're never going to hit those goals if you keep doing what you're doing, which is why you're here, right? But the truth is, leaders, again, pay attention. Most people, when we ask this question, most people have only talked to, 10% of their contacts, 5% of their contacts in the last 6 months. And the reason we say in the last 6 months, would you agree 6 months ago, somebody might have been happy with their job? Maybe they were happy with their current situation, but since then, something happened. Maybe they got furloughed, laid off, their business went out of business. Who knows? Things happen. And here's the other thing. You might be more successful, more confident, have better knowledge, have a better story 6 months later. Not only has their situation changed, maybe your circumstances, maybe your situation is different. The point is, we need to get you to increase that number. Go from 10% to 20%, 20% to 50%, 50% to eventually 100% of the people you've talked to. Now, I don't think it's ever possible to talk to 100% because you're always adding new friends as well. But if you have people you're friends with on Facebook, why haven't you approached them? You're friends with them. What are you afraid of? It's not a cold message. If it's a Facebook friend, now it might be a cold message if it's like a brand new Facebook friend. We'll talk about that today. But I want to point this out, because a lot of people have big goals, big dreams, big desire, but they're not backing it up with action because they have a fear of rejection. There's a belief issue. So we'll talk about that throughout this conversation today, but I just wanted you to see those percentages as leaders because I think it's eye-opening. How many of us are pretty shocked? Smash the heart button if you're shocked by how many people are just like you, and it's like 10%, 2%, 1%, and it makes you realize you have people on your team, they're plugging in, they're on the calls, they're working the business, they're putting out the curiosity posts. They say they're doing all the work, but I guarantee the majority of people, not everybody, but the majority of people on your team, they're not proactively reaching out to people on a daily basis, and they're not popping the question. So write this down. This is something we've been teaching for years. 553. 553. Every single day, you should friend up or reconnect with 5 people. Now, if you're in launch mode, which we talked about already, it's a little bit of a different mentality. But most people, after the first 30, 60, 90 days, you're no longer really launching. You might be relaunching. You might be doing a 30-day run or a 90-day run or something. But I think it's important to friend up or reconnect with 5 people every single day. Now, let's be clear. This could be people that are new Facebook friends that you met in a Facebook group, maybe 5 people you met on Instagram. Now you're friending them up on Facebook. This could be 5 friends. Check this out. The reason I say reconnect, because a lot of you have Facebook friends that you haven't connected with in 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, 10 years. What's the point of friending up new people if you're not going to talk to the people you're already friends with, y'all? I got to find some new friends. What about the 300 you haven't talked to in years? Delete them if you're not going to talk to them, if you don't like them. Capiche?
Yeah.
The second 5, you got to pop the question 5 times a day, at least. Now, I know some people that do more than this, but I think 5 is a good number, because even if you do 10 a day for 5 days, that's 50 people. But what if you took Saturday and Sunday off? I don't know. The point is, this is just an average. I just think it's so important to do this because it's all about that butterfly effect, that domino effect, right? Giving you that slight edge. If you did if you pop the question 5 times a day over the course of a month, that's 150 people that you planted seeds. Even if all 150 said, no, I'm not open, at least 150 people now know you have a business and a product.
Yeah.
So now you've planted the seed, and your content creation, your rapport building after the fact. See, that's when you actually build the rapport.
That's right.
It's after you've already talked to someone about your business or product, right? You've already popped the question. They said no. Now the real job, the real work happens, right? Because anyway, I don't want to go into too much of a rant about this, but the truth is you're watering those seeds over the course of time, because now they know what you do, and they're going to continue to see you show up with positivity, with enthusiasm, with value.
That's right.
And you're not just a marketer trying to pitch them something. You're a friend first marketer. Second, number three people you ATM. 3 people you put into a group chat with your upline. If you ATM 3 people a day, that's 90 people over the course of a month, y'all. Imagine if your whole team did this.
Ooh.
Is it that hard to find 3 humans that want to lose weight, live longer, look younger, feel better, save money, make money? I know a lot of network marketers are plugged into this, so I don't know what you're selling. You're all selling different things, whatever. Drop into the comments. Let us know, what are your hero products that you offer? Let us know, is it a physical product? Is it a service? The point is, there's so many people out there that need your product.
Yes.
They need an opportunity. The truth is, you're going to have to go through the duds to find the studs. You're going to have to go through the numbers to find the people that are open, and then get them in your groups. Get them in those ATM groups. Get them in group chats. Introduce them to other people. Here's how I know someone's working. I see them ATMing people, and they're putting me in group chats. This is how you identify who to work with, who are going to be your projects, the people you're going to mentor and pour into. It's the people working the thing. They're doing the deal, right? They're working the dang thing. They're excited. They're showing up. They're exposing people to the information. Now, we're going to talk about the power hour. How many of you are already doing a power hour? How many of you are already working your business 60 minutes a day? By the way, if you say, John, I work my business 3 hours a day, you should still have a power hour where you're doing these most important money-making activities. Did you want to?
I love it. No, this is so good, baby. I am so, how many of you are loving, I really love it when you go on the rant and you do like this most powerful mindset thing. And it's true, you guys, I watch John do what he does every day, and truly he's just relentless. And for those of you that struggle, right? If you're really struggling right now with pulling the trigger, right? There's a couple things that I would recommend for you. Number one, motion always comes before motion. Whenever you don't feel like doing it, here's the secret. Successful people get up and do it anyway. Whether you feel like it or not, let's learn law of inertia. If you just make yourself do the deed, if you just sit down front of the desk, pick up your phone, you start reaching out to people, you make yourself do the task for 5 minutes, you'll notice that all of a sudden your energy starts to flow, and all of a sudden you become like, you notice you're in momentum, and then you're on a roll, and then 2 hours goes by and you're crushing it.
That's
no
right.
Different than, you going to the gym. How many of us have ever not felt like going to the gym, but then you go anyway, and then you start to lift a few things and you start walking on the treadmill, and all of a sudden you're sweating, you're hyper, you're fired up, you got it going. It's very, very same. So look,
is that how it works for you?
Exactly. It has to be something that becomes non-negotiable. You do have to become just a routine machine. So let's help you identify some of these workflows. And again, I want to just remind you, always be listening with an ear of a leader. I'm assuming you're here because you want to develop a 6-figure, a 7-figure business. Yes. So if you learn a simple tip, you guys watch this. If you master the 60-minute daily fame formula that we're going to break down for you right now, and you get your income to $1,000 a month, then to elevate your income, let's say you go, my next goal is I want to make $10,000 a month. Well, how many people do you need to help to now make $1,000 a month? So you make $10,000 a month. The only difference between a 6-figure earner and a 7-figure earner, a 7-figure earner just has more leaders.
Boom.
That has duplicated the system.
That's it.
It's so cool, right? So 60 minutes a day, essentially you're looking to set timers, 15 minutes each. And then you got follow up, you got ATM prospecting, you got marketing, and you got expanding your network. And if you look at the FAME fame,
we want you to become famous in your company.
Please.
We want you on the leaderboard. And even at my level, right? We have a multi-million-dollar organization. We earn multiple six figures a month. We got one of the top teams in all of network marketing. And guess what? I still ATM people. I still do group chats with my prospects. Why? Because I want to lead by example. I want to show people. I want to change their life.
That's right.
I want to show them that they can have it all. You can't do it all, but you can have it all. You can have the lifestyle. You can have the great relationships with your kids and your spouse, and you can travel. You can do all the things and still be productive in your business. Just in the last 60 days, I started 21 new teams, meaning I'm still recruiting. If I can still do it, leading a massive organization, so can you. But the difference in me and you, number one, I've been doing this longer, obviously, than just about everybody watching. But the second thing is, I do those daily tasks. Like Nadia mentioned, you got to be a routine machine. So this is what we want to help you with. Follow up, like I'm a freak about follow up. Like people are shocked. Like I remember to follow up with people that aren't even my own personal recruits. And it's also because I just know how to use the tools that are at our disposal, like Facebook Messenger, right? I leave a message on read until I open it up. Once I open it up, it could be a week old, but I'll pop back in there. I might change the color. I might drop a thumbs up. I might drop an audio clip. You never can tell. It depends on my mood. And, people are like, I hate the thumbs up. I was like, hey, it's made me money. I'm okay with the thumbs up. I don't hate it like some people. That's okay. And if you hate it, don't use it. But the point is, I'm a freak about follow-up. Why? Because I know the fortunes in the follow-up, number one. Number two, I know that most people just simply don't join after one or two conversations. So I'm always popping back into my group chats. I'm following up with my customers. I'm following up with anybody I've had a conversation with to ask them where their head's at, to see what they would like the next step to be.
I love it. Okay, so now let's show you what the Fame Tracker is, and we're going to give you an opportunity to grab it as well. Now, also alongside this lesson, right, you're going to see the link to download it. Okay, so you got follow up. You want to set a 15-minute timer. You got ATM prospecting. You're going to set a 15-minute timer, follow the 5-5-3. Or for those of us that are ambitious, look, you can double those numbers. You can triple those numbers. Now, when we take a look at the marketing piece, I know this is challenging, and this is where people get really, really lost in social media. And we have to remember that social media is a tool for you to build your business. But if you get lost in the scroll, if you're on there for hours, it needs to be confronted. You need to confront your activities, and you need to take charge of your schedule. Okay, look, so go ahead and take a snapshot of this, right? This is going to be your marketing activity. And then we got expand and engage with your network. And this is really cool. I want you to think about it like this. In business, it's not what you know, and it's not even who you know, it's who knows you and thinks about you when the time comes, when they're ready for an opportunity. So my goal would be every day for you to put out your connective tissue out there. Look at my fingers. How can we expand your network every single day? And we wanted to essentially create a couple of simple opportunities for you, right? Where you can go, you can leave meaningful comments, you can comment on people's Facebook stories. Okay, wish happy birthdays. So I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but we're going to give you an opportunity to download it so you can just start with those simple tasks.
That's right.
To expand your network. Now, outside of your Fame Hour, personal development in my books is so crucial. Matter of fact, morning routine for me is everything. How many of you are huge believers that when you first wake up, you have to identify what are those activities that put you in the posture of power? I believe you got to sell yourself on how amazing you are. God does not make junk, but all of us need to be proactive about what is happening in our own brain, because by default, everything in the universe moves towards disorder. If you don't clean your house, it gets dirty. If you don't brainwash your brain, it gets dirty. So you got to think about that. And the minute that you do your marketing, the minute that you do your prospecting, the minute that you show up for your business and for your team like a chore, without that sparkle in your eye, without being inspired yourself, without being properly postured, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be struggling. So every morning, what is it for you? Do you do gratitude in the morning? In my books, there's nothing more a turnoff than a person that is ungrateful. I mean, right? Like, what about those people? How many of us have had a person on our team that all they do is complain? It's like there's a reward for it. It's almost like they're getting paid $100 an hour to look for problems. Dude.
Well, and it's interesting
No.
because
unsubscribe.
How many times do we hear people complain about, the results, leads,
right?
They're struggling with social media. They don't know what to post, but at least you're struggling online
from home, in your beautiful sweatpants.
We used to drive hours.
Oh my goodness.
Just to go do a meeting with a couple prospects, maybe 5, 10 prospects sitting in the seats. Now that was tough because if you did a meeting and nobody signed up, you're driving back another couple hours and you didn't sign up anybody. The meeting was a flop. I mean, that was tough. But, oh, you didn't get any leads on your story this morning, or you did a live video and nobody engaged. Like, oh my gosh, boo-hoo, right? Be so grateful that we have the opportunity to build a global business from our phones.
Right.
Like, really put that in perspective. It's like Tony Robbins says, exchange your frustration for appreciation.
Love it.
Right? We get so frustrated with our team. At least you've got a team. We get frustrated sometimes with our upline because maybe they didn't respond fast enough. There's some people, their upline quit. They don't even have an upline, right? They're all by themselves. So I think you really have to acknowledge the gratitude and have appreciation for how far you've come, for what you do have versus focusing on what you don't have. And this is so important in business. This is so important in life, right? The happiest people are people that are most grateful for what they have. They realize there's blessings in disguise sometimes, like some of the pain and the torture we went through. Yeah. Like, I'm so grateful for it. It sucked. It wasn't fun, but we wouldn't have the lifestyle we have today. We wouldn't be the parents we are today. We wouldn't be the leaders we are today if it wasn't for those unfortunate circumstances, for some of those adverse experiences we had over the years, right?
And let me share this motto with you, and I'd love for you to drop it into the comments. But the motto is this: things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Amen.
For John and I, our 20-year entrepreneurial journey, if you knew the full story, you would be saying this. You'd be like, oh my gosh, it's no surprise you guys are crushing it right now.
How did you guys not quit?
Yes. Right. How did you not quit? And here's the thing. Quitting doesn't get you any closer to your goals. And you have to recognize the fact that everything that happens, it's like the diamond and the fire. The way they make diamonds is refinement by fire. And the minute you adopt that mindset that, hey, everything is happening to, it's like basically a loving kick in the booty by the universe to get me closer to my goal. Look, things happen for you, not to you. Every morning you have got to take charge of your mindset. You got to take charge of your posture, because when you show up to do your business, if you're not postured, that is why you're not having success. Right. Because people follow strength. People do not follow weakness. Same with parenting. Amen. You have to have posture when you're feeding your kids, because these kids are so good at selling you on why they want to eat cereal or why they want to have chocolate instead of veggies and fruits.
That's right. I mean, here's the truth. We failed our way to the top. We failed our way to the top. We kept showing up. We kept doing the do, even when our whole team quit, even when we had a company shut down on us, not once, but twice, even when we got sued by a previous company for $2.5 million. Yes. Exactly. And the only reason they came after us is they wanted to stop us. This is why you have haters. This is why you have obstacles, because these are tests, right? You can't have a testimonial if you're never tested. And sometimes our greatest disappointments are God's greatest appointments. You got to faith it till you make it. to create momentum in your life outside of doing the daily gratitude, working on yourself, right? Personal development, network marketing's personal development with a compensation plan attached to it, working out, all the things. The other thing you got to do is you got to plug into your training events.
Please.
And not just company events. To me, that's essential. That's like a no-brainer. Like we have our big annual conference coming up. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
It's just like, how many people am I bringing with me? It's not about me going. I'm obviously going. It's how many people am I bringing with me to this event? But the next thing outside of that is plugging into programs like this, right? Plugging into Tony Robbins or Brendan Bouchard, or finding outside mentors, outside seminars and programs to invest in. Because the more you work on yourself, like we said, 30 minutes a day, it doesn't take a lot. But if you read 10 pages of a good book every day, you'll have read lots of books over the course of months, years, in your lifetime. Whatever it is that's going to move you into action and become the best version of yourself, it's so important. Other ways you can create momentum: relaunching your business. We talked about that in module 2. Running special promotions, giveaways, challenges within your organization. We'll talk about that in module 4. The bottom line is this tracker will help you in all areas of your business. And if you're running it like a business,
I'm so happy
you need to keep track of your numbers, track of your production. Like, how many new friends did you add this week? Do you even know? How many people did you follow up with? How many new customers this week? How many new teammates? What about your team goals? How many new customers is your team bringing on? How many new teammates did your team bring on? It's hard to put together a plan or have goals if you don't know your numbers. You need to know your numbers. You need to know what did your team do the last 60 days, 90 days, the last 12 months? Because if you say, John, I want to double my production, I want to double my team, I want to rank up. And I ask you, well, how many new teammates did you bring on last month? And you don't know, or you only know your individual numbers, you don't know your team numbers. Would you agree that's a foundational problem? Like, how can you double your production if you don't know where you're at on a month-to-month basis? So start keeping track of your weekly numbers, your team numbers, right? Keeping track of your volume, right? Now, here's another thing. I take a screenshot of my volume every night before I go to bed. Now, I know not every organization or company is volume-based, but for me, I like that, because if I were to look at like my numbers in January in comparison to November, I might be discouraged, because we never do as much production in January as we do in November. But if I go year to year, every January, we've done more volume than we did the previous January. Does that make some sense? Every November has been our biggest year the last 5 years. Every November has been the biggest month we've ever had. So I already know November is going to be ginormous, but I can't expect December to be as big as November. But if I go, hey, this December was bigger than last December, to me, that's growth. That's progress. That's exciting.
That's right.
So this is why you need to keep track of your numbers. And if you want to write this down, we don't have this on the slide, but the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the last day of the month. Those are the 4 most important dates, in my opinion, because you kind of have a gauge of where you're at for the week, for the month, for the year. It's just so helpful to know where you're at on the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the last day of the month.
Wow, that was a ninja tip, baby.
It is. It's true. This is something really I figured out over time. Like, I really pay attention to the first week, second week, third week, end of the month.
That's true. Because
and if you, I was just going to mention the tracker.
Yeah. You guys grab this link, so you don't even have to quote unquote opt in. When you hit this link, it'll go directly to this tracker, so you can download it, you can print it out, and you can follow this infrastructure. All right. But no, that's so true, because as a leader, it's really, talking about your mindset, you got to have proper perspective. This is why we talk a lot about your mindset and gratitude and being postured the right way. So you can get discouraged when you're comparing November to December, let's just say.
There you go.
Right. So that tip is everything. Okay. I love it. So let me know, you guys, how are you doing with what we've talked about so far? Are you ready for more? Because this was kind of like a skeleton, right? Now we're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to give you guys some scripts. We're going to help you with your posture. So for those of you that are nervous to pop the question, let's help you with that. Let's give you some words to say, because if you can also make your business prestigious. How many of us know people that inside the network marketing profession, when you're looking at things from outside on what it is that they're doing, they're giving the industry a bad name, honestly. And this is why one of the big motivators for John and I to show up live, and we've been teaching our best answers for years and years and years, because we really are ambassadors of the industry, and our mission is to help elevate this industry. And I want to inspire that onto you too. So if all of us as a community can now stand up for the profession, give it a good name, show up in a postured way, right? So that way people that need an opportunity,
right,
they get involved in your opportunity.
And I would recommend you share this with your teams, because I think so many times people say, how do I motivate my team? How do I get my team going? Yeah. And it's like, well, the truth is, we can't motivate someone, but we can provide the tools, the support, the guidance. They have to still do the work, right? We're going to help them build their business, but it is their business.
Correct.
But if they have something like this, at least it gives them a reference point. At least it gives them somewhat of an idea, some guidance of what they need to do every day to move their business forward. We've been doing this for basically 2 decades, y'all, and we know what's most important. We know that there's a lot of network marketers out there that don't have great team culture. They don't have upline support. They don't have mentorship. So you can become that mentor. In fact, one of the best things that's happened to us over the years is having bad upline leadership. In those early years, we had some good leaders, good mentors. We had some not so great examples. We had some people that in the Bible, they would have been warnings. They would have been the people to avoid. But it was good to have those experiences, because it made us better leaders, and it made us realize.
Sometimes it's more valuable to learn what not to do.
Exactly. We were like, we don't want to be like those guys.
Oh my gosh, that's
right. We don't want to treat people like a number. So let's get into some helpful hints of what to do to be most effective when it comes to sharing the opportunity and prospecting people, and realize that not everybody's looking, quote, for an opportunity or a product, but they are looking for a solution to their problem. We talked about this. People don't want toothpaste. They want white teeth. The toothpaste can give them the white teeth. So the opportunity can give them financial peace of mind, financial security, maybe eventually give them a significant income. Right? Your product can help them with what they're looking to accomplish. But at the end of the day, it's not that people want to swallow supplements. Like, I just love swallowing pills and, I just love spending money on things. It's that they want to get the result.
Right.
So your goal is to invite people to take a look at the information, let the tools do the talking. We always say, don't be a fool, use a tool. And I would please write this down. This is like one of the things that I would think at this point everybody knows, because we've been doing this for like 7 years, but please use audio. Meaning when you're on Messenger, even LinkedIn has audio now. So most of these platforms have the ability to use an audio recorded message, meaning like when I'm talking to someone on Messenger, I record my voice, especially, let me be clear, when I'm in prospecting mode, when I'm in relationship building mode, I do my best to use audio because it's the next best thing to a phone call. They hear your enthusiasm, your excitement. So before reaching out to someone you haven't spoken with recently, like it's been a little while, maybe it's been 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, take a moment, check out their profile, right? Do a little stalking. We're going to give you permission to be a stalker for a hot second, because what if someone just lost their grandmother and you reach out, hey, Sam, how are things going? Would love to share something with you. And it's like, bro, like bad timing. Now, I will be honest. I don't look at everybody's profile, mostly because I don't have the time. I'm in a little bit of a different situation. A lot of people come to me, but anytime I know something's going on or I see something, like I always take a step back and I again, human first, marketer second, sending my condolences, sending lots of love. If I can be of service to you, feel free to reach out, send in prayers. Like if someone just lost their job today, don't pounce on them and be like, well, I told you, should have had another income stream. Like, no, bad etiquette. That's why people don't like what we do. And please don't get hung up on one prospect. If someone ignores you, listen, by the way, someone doesn't always necessarily ignore you intentionally. Maybe they just saw the message. They were in the middle of something. They forgot to respond. But this is why we always say some will, some won't, some wait. So what? Someone else is waiting. Next. People are like Santa. They're always watching. Now, this is something for us back in 2008. I think this was talked about quite a bit in the first 3, 4, 5 years we were in network marketing. But I would say year 7 for me, 2008. Yeah. This is when I really embraced this conversation of recruiting up. Now, I don't want you to idolize people. I don't want you to look at someone and go, oh my gosh, because they make more money than me, because they're more successful. You should never idolize other people. Just because someone has lots of followers or they have a bigger bank account doesn't mean they're like a better person. No one's better than you. Does that make sense? Yeah. I want you to hear this because you might see people that are very successful financially, but they have a broken relationship with their kids, or they have a bad marriage, or they're super unhealthy. Like, look at Steve Jobs, right? One of the most successful people in the history of the world, but he was not a nice person, right? He did not have a good reputation as being a kind human. Like, I would rather be unsuccessful, but be kind. Now, I wouldn't have said that in my early years, but I would rather be a good person that has real relationships with great people than to be super rich, right? Some people are so poor, all they have is money. All right. So I just wanted to say that for a second. No, now good. Let's get into this. Okay. If you know people that are reputable, people that are successful, they have a great following, man, you've got to ask those people if they're open. I talked about this on a Clubhouse last night. I said, if I put 100 business owners on this side of the room, and then I put 100 employees on the other side of the room, there's nothing wrong with being an employee. We were employees. I think everybody at one point is an employee. It's very rare that someone's never had a job. Now, there are those people, but most people have had a job at some point. Doesn't mean they're like, a low quality person, but high caliber people. If you look at some of the top leaders inside your respected network marketing companies, I think you'll find that a lot of the top people used to do other things that were entrepreneurial. Maybe they were in another network marketing business and had success. Maybe they had other businesses in the past, or they currently run a business. The point is, if I put 100 business owners on the left side of the room and 100 employees on the right side of the room, I'm going to sign up more of the business owners into my network marketing business because they go, it's only $500 or it's only $200 or $1,000, whatever your company cost is, right? They look at it and they go, that's it, right? They look at the fact that there's almost no overhead in comparison to traditional business. They look at the risk reward. They see the huge unlimited opportunity for income, but the very low risk of not just entry, but the monthly risk, the monthly expense, like the kind of money we make in a traditional business. We did some mathematics with some friends of ours. We would probably have about a $675,000 monthly nut, overhead. Right? That would be the monthly expense. That monthly nut every month. That was like, you got to pay that. Like, this is your employee cost, your manufacturing. Like, this is your cost to make this kind of income. Crazy, right? So business owners love multiple income streams. People that maybe they're not a business owner, but they make a lot of money in corporate America. Like, they're a mortgage banker. They're a real estate agent. They're not a business owner per se, but they're entrepreneurial. You'll find that they're more open-minded.
So if you're looking at this, I just want to bring some clarity, right? We're not saying you're a 5 and then you got 10s and 1s. Right. We're just saying, in your circle, how would you explain it simply? Like, essentially, we all have people that we look up to. So those would be 6-10.
That's right.
And then you have people that look up to you. So what happens naturally by default, unless you take leadership and you begin to teach this and you begin to be proactive about it. So unless we teach our team otherwise, by default, when they first start, they're going to go towards the people that are the easy people. How many of us are guilty of doing that, right?
Yep.
It's like you call your friends that are less successful than you, that are like easier recruits. Now, it's actually opposite, right? What we've learned back in 2008 is when we started to go after people that were business owners, that we could say we look up to, right? They were successful. Maybe they're a little bit too intimidating to reach out to. How many of you guys have heard chicken list?
That's
right? Chicken list, chicken list. So we have to start to think so much bigger, but I think you're going to be so surprised for those of us that haven't really thought proactively about this conversation, that when you begin to reach out to people that do have a business, that are doing something alternative, that are maybe more successful, they have good cash flow, they have real estate investments, those are the types of people usually they're more attracted to what it is that we got going on, and you'll have better success. I remember this one trainer, she talked about the concept. Baby, do you remember this? She's like, if you, let's say, approach somebody and they say no, every no is the same, but not every yes is the same.
Ooh, that's so true. Yeah, because I remember back in the day, I would enroll my younger brother, his friends. None of them had money. They had no influence. They struggled big time just to get like a human that was interested. But it's because, they were young, non-influential people. And quite honestly, so was I when I first got started in network marketing. So was Nadia.
Yeah.
The point is, we go after the easy people because we don't care if they say no. Right. But the truth is, most of you are busy. How many of us are busy? Smash that hard button if you're busy. Some of us are too busy to even smash the hard button. We're so busy, right? So if you're busy, you might as well go after the best people. That's hilarious. We all have a chicken list. We all have people, our successful uncle, right? That big influencer that we're friends with or we follow, but we're afraid to approach them because, we don't want to look uncool. We don't want to look like a dork. But what if they say yes? What if they're on their knees every night praying for an opportunity?
Because their overhead is crazy.
And nobody approaches them because they seem they seem bigger than life.
Don't assume.
Now let me say this.
Don't prejudge.
Sometimes we do this training and the people are like, hey, John, are you open to an opportunity? And it's like, dude, I'm not talking about leaders in other network marketing companies. You can't recruit leaders from other network marketing companies. You can't recruit leaders. Now, have I recruited leaders from other companies? No. They came to me. They recruited themselves. Now, of course, I got into recruitment mode with them when they reached out. That happens often. Someone's company went out of business. They've been with the same company for 7 years and they're looking to make a move and they reach out to me and they're wanting to, but it's not like I ask them to look at my thing, right? I don't go after someone that's happily married. That's not what we're talking about. Good. We're talking about people that are not in a network marketing company. We're talking about people that, look, this is a crazy stat. Write this down.
Okay.
90% of influencers on social media do not monetize.
What?
90%. And I'm talking people with 10,000 followers or more. 90%.
Wow.
Now, some of them obviously are, and I think more and more influencers are understanding how to do it, but a lot of them struggle with selling on social media, or they sell something once in a while, like, hey, will you promote this protein shake? We'll give you $5,000, and they promote it. They get 5,000, and that's it.
That's crazy.
They don't get residuals.
That's crazy.
They're not leveraging their time. There's a lot more influencers and bloggers getting into network marketing if they find the right company where they can make money just promoting a product. And what's funny? They fall in love with the product. They fall in love with the company. They start building a team. They don't even know what they're doing. But you'd be surprised by how many influencers, how many very successful people are totally open to what we're doing. Of course, we need to approach them. We need to be okay with maybe them not being interested at first, and maybe we have to send them some product. But I just wanted to get in your head about this.
Yeah.
Because I think too many of us prejudge successful people, and then we approach the low-hanging fruit. And then they say yes, and it's like not even exciting because they don't have money, they don't have influence, they know everybody, but nobody knows them. You know what I'm saying? now, with that being said,
that's awesome.
I don't want you to prejudge people either. Yeah. You never know. But if someone's like not a good person, they have a terrible reputation. I'll never forget this quote when I first heard it. You get punished or rewarded based on the life you led prior to getting involved in network marketing. You'll be punished or rewarded. So some of us are bringing in people, they're going to struggle. Like, put it this way. Would you rather recruit John and Nadia when we were 20, 30, or now that we're, in our 40s? You'd rather recruit us when we're in our 40s.
To be clear, we're 40. We're not in our 40s.
Well, I didn't know, people that listen to this later, I was just thinking.
I just want to pause the time. Can we do that?
I do like pausing the time.
I like it right now.
Does that make sense that you'd rather, you could mentor someone that's, a 1, 2, 3, 4, not saying you should prejudge, but you can appreciate that over time.
Yeah.
Over time, you'd rather get some people that already have clout, credibility, influence, etc. So let's get into some scripts and some language. We're going to talk about it today.
I love it.
Very
okay.
excited.
How many of you totally needed that brainwashing session? That was so good.
You guys like that?
There's so many nuggets. I don't even know how to sum it up, to be quite honest with you, right? But how many of us needed that mental adjustment? Because that's what we call posture, y'all.
Yeah.
That is what we call posture. When you have pride in what it is that you market, you just show up differently. There's also an element of when you begin to master marketing and you begin to now generate leads, and you also have the mindset of reaching out to a lot of people. You don't get hung up on any one prospect. You know what that gives you too? It gives you the energy of abundance. And there's something about it when you show up with the energy of abundance, and when you show up with that mindset, that posture of, I got the cookie. Do you know what I mean? I got the cookie. I got the platform here. When you show up
you're
like that,
so lucky I'm reaching out to you.
Yes.
I'm going to change your life today. Remember, we used to say before we walk into a meeting, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the very, very best.
Yeah.
There's the red carpet, the trumpets. We visualize this like they are so lucky. Because if you think about it, was your life changed because of someone sharing network marketing with you? Thank God someone didn't prejudge you. Thank God someone had the nerve, the audacity to reach out to you. That's one of my favorite words.
Oh, baby,
you know what 2020 had?
What, baby?
The audacity.
Please.
But drop it to the comments. Let me know. Did network marketing change your life?
Yeah.
Is your life better because of personal development, because of the people, the relationships, not even the money? Maybe a product that changed your life. The money's nice too, don't get me wrong. But how many of us can appreciate that someone had to reach out to you? They had to strike up a conversation. They had to have the nerve to ask you if you're open. Now, some of you might say,
they had to have that courage.
Yeah, maybe you say, well, I'm the one that reached out to my sponsor. Fantastic. So they were doing some marketing on social media, which is also what we talk about. So let's get into some scripts, because I know this training, we could talk about this kind of stuff for hours every day.
I don't know if you can tell, but we get excited.
We get excited. We're very passionate. We're very passionate about this because I know a lot of us have people on the chicken list. We have some high caliber people in our life. And if you could just get over yourself,
I know
it's not about you.
I know.
Start these conversations. So let's get into some scripts.
It's so true.
We're going to talk about it. How do we?
I will help you.
Oh.
I will help you.
Did you hear that noise though?
I did.
Well,
yeah.
Let's get into it. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. And some of us, you know what? You may want to take some screenshots of your favorite people that changed your life. This is why you start your day with gratitude. You start your day with marinating your brain. Okay. Let's get into the scripts. How many of you are ready for some beautiful language to land on prospects to get them excited? All right. So now, direct approach. What is direct approach? This is a beautiful approach for people that are either in your warm market or in your lukewarm market.
See, same thing to you.
Go ahead, baby. Begin talking. Begin.
Begin without anything on the screen. So let's say you're reaching out to people, right? And you're wanting to connect regarding your product, your service, whatever. Hey, Sam, how are things? Catch up and connect means, how are things? How's the family? What have you been up to? Maybe you checked out their profile.
Okay.
Hey, I just saw you were recently in Disney with the family. How was that? Right? I see you just got a promotion at work, or, oh, congrats on the puppy, or, thanks for all the positivity. Whatever, you're catching up, connecting, maybe mentioning something that they posted about, right? There's always value in making that me too bridge, it looks like you've been busy with work. Me too, right? Looks like you've been traveling, me too. Like, just find something relatable, something to talk about, and then say, listen, the reason I'm reaching out to you because it could be a little back and forth, right? A little back and forth conversation. Listen, the reason I'm reaching out to you is because, and then you talk about why, right? I'm starting something new. I'm really excited. I thought of you because I know you're into health and wellness. I know you're into fitness. I know you're a lot like me and you've got kids and you got a lot going on. I know for me, I needed a product that gave me more energy. I always have those afternoon crashes, or I've had trouble sleeping. I know you'd mentioned that to me before. Like, think of a reason to reach out to them to justify it. And then always mention your personal reason why. I think it's just so important. Now, I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of, proactive product approaches. Like, I don't lead with the product a whole lot. But I have people within my organization, some of our students in other companies, this is the number one way they approach people, is leading with the product. Now, people say, should I lead with the product, lead with the business?
Good.
Reach out to 50 people about the product and then reach out to 50 people about the business.
I love it.
And figure out which one you like best. You'll fine tune your approach. You just have to be okay with sucking in the beginning. We call it embracing the suck. But you're reaching out to people. Hey, if you're open, let me know. I'll plug you into our private Facebook group. If not, no big deal. And remember, with ATM, it's all about leveraging videos, testimonials, before and afters, right? Getting them in the group so they can get more information. It's simple. I don't want you sending videos. I don't want you explaining everything. You talk about why you're excited. The next step is to get them in the groups. The next step is to tag them in some information. You send them a message on Facebook, letting them know, hey, I added you to these groups. I'm super excited for you to check out the information. So if someone posts in your story or they comment on your TikTok or your Facebook curiosity post, what are the products? What's the company? How's this work? Tell me more. You add them into the group. You tag them in that welcome post, that announcements post, and you let them know, hey, I added you to our group. In order for you to see the content, you have to accept the invite. Once you do, I can tag in some information. I'm really excited for you to check out Sarah's story. I think you'll relate to her. I'm really excited for you to watch this interview. I'm really excited for you to watch this 10-minute opportunity video. It depends on what you're talking to the person about. But if it's about product, hopefully you have a short product video or a testimonial you can tag them in. Maybe even there's a couple posts you tag them in. And you see this last question here? Also, would you like to take a look at how I earn income from my phone by simply sharing my results? Because, hey, some of the people that you start out talking to about the products, they're interested, but hey, can't hurt to pop the question, see if they're open to the business as well. Would you like to see how I make money from my phone? If not, no big deal. If someone says, no, I am not interested in the product. No, I don't want to check it out. No, I'm not. Or they just simply ignore you. Who cares? Move on. Some will, some won't, some wait. So what next? No biggie, Sam. I was really blown away by what I saw, and I thought you might be too. If you think of anyone that would love to release some LBs, look younger, feel better, or make some money from social media, I'd be happy to help them. Do you guys get this? Do you see how that's kind of funny?
Yeah.
Right? Listen, funny equals money. If you make them laugh, you can make them buy. Have an awesome day. Let's keep in touch. And remember, some people, they just need to marinate. They need to marinate in an ATM group. They need to marinate maybe just being a friend on Facebook or a follower on Instagram or TikTok, whatever. The bottom line is you pop the question, you ask them if they're open. If not, it's not a big deal. Now, the direct business script, very different, but very similar in many ways also, right? Like, you catch up with someone, you connect, right? You maybe some Me Too bridges, or you check out their profile, do a little, stalking up front, whatever. But the point is, you're always letting them know, listen, the reason I'm reaching out to you is because. So there's a little back and forth rapport or catch up. Let them know why you're starting this new business, why you're so excited. In fact, I'd like you to write down 2 reasons why.
Okay.
Your personal reason why. That's an important one, but also why this company, why this product, because that's different than your personal reason why.
That's good.
I thought of you because I know you're super motivated. I thought of you because I know we've talked about making money before. Or I thought of you because I always see all your positivity on social media, and a lot of positive people do what we do. I thought of you because I saw another school teacher just like you having success. Whatever. If you're open, let me know. I'll get you plugged into these Facebook groups. If not, no big deal. So again, it's different in the sense that it's about the business and making money, but it's still very similar in the structure of the conversation. And we don't care if they say no. If not, no big deal. It's because it's not a big deal. If 100 people in a row tell me no, great. I'll go talk to 100 more people. There are billions of humans on social media. There are billions of people in the world. It's okay if a couple hundred aren't interested. And by the way, they're not interested yet.
Oh, please write that down. I love it.
8 to 10 exposures before someone's ready to get started.
It.
Now, here's the other thing. Some yeses, great. You get some no's, great. Either way, we're going to stay positive. We're going to keep going. We're going to get better along the way. The key to success, and this is some of the language we use. This is in our scripts. You can take a screenshot of this. But I always tell people, listen, all you have to do is what I'm doing with you right now. So if people are interested in the business, the products, whatever, listen, all you have to do is what I'm doing with you right now. I add people to a couple groups. I tag them in the same videos I'm tagging you in. And then tomorrow, I'm going to put you in a group chat. I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. I'm going to put you in a group chat with some of the other leaders we work with. You said you were going to check out some of those videos tonight? Yeah, great. I'll follow up with you tomorrow sometime. You could even set a time to follow up. I typically don't do that. I used to, but now I'm just too busy. I just say, I'll follow up with you tomorrow, and I'm going to put you in a chat with some of the other people we work with. I always edify the leadership, edify the people we work with. Now, let's say it's the next day and I set it up. Hey, Samantha, I wanted to follow up with you, see if you got a chance to check out the groups, watch some of the videos I tagged you in. I'm also introducing you to some of the amazing people I get to work with every single day. Joe, Mary, and Amy, meet Samantha. She's a great friend of mine. Right now, she's, married, 2 kids, school teacher, super busy, but loves the idea of creating an income from social media, or loves the idea of firing her boss, whatever her reason would be. So you're setting up a group chat on Facebook Messenger, just like you would do a 3-way call. How many of you have done 3-way calls? If you could do 3-way calls, you could do group chats.
Yeah.
I would assume. In fact, let me ask in the comments, how many of you are already doing group chats? Because I could tell you, this is one of those little things that we started doing years and years and years ago before anybody else was doing it. And it was game changing. It increased our close ratio, believe it or not. We were able to follow up with people more efficiently. Because here's the thing, there was a lot of pressure on a 3-way call.
Yeah.
You better have good sales service.
Oh my gosh.
You better do a good job of building a little bit of rapport, answering some questions.
Yeah.
It's like you live and die with the 3-way call, meaning it's like if that person doesn't join, you may never talk to that person again. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
All those 3-way calls we did back in the day. How many people did we come across that were great people? They didn't sign up after the call. We've never talked to them. So we haven't talked to them since then. We may never talk to that person again. Group chats, guys, I can go back to group chats that we did in 2014, and there's still people in those chats. Think about that for a second. And yeah, you can use Telegram and GroupMe, these other things. I like Facebook and Facebook Messenger, though. So simple. You're adding people on Facebook to the ATM groups and then doing group chats. Everything's right there on Facebook and Facebook Messenger. Like a lot of my contacts don't have Telegram and GroupMe. However, I know internationally, some of those platforms are more popular, but we're doing all, even my international teams, we try to do mostly Facebook Messenger because it's simple and everybody's got it. And then when it comes to follow up and close, you could do this in the group chat. You could do this individually. It's up to you. Sometimes I do both. It depends on how the person is responsive, right? Sometimes, the group chat's been kind of like lingering for a little bit. So now I'm going to go to a direct message. Sometimes I follow up directly, but they don't respond. So I go back into the chat, or I have one of the other marketers that are in the chat. I have them bring it back up. So there's some different things you could do that we'll talk about. But I want to know, what did you like best? What did you like most? Because I want them talking. Maybe they love the products. Maybe they love the opportunity. There's a big difference in someone that's excited about the product and someone that's interested in the business, right? What would be your goal if you got started? What kind of money? Some people want to make $500 a month. What kind of money are you looking to earn? $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Like, I want to get them talking. I want to get them excited about what they're excited about. Does that make sense? And typically they're going to have some questions. Well, how does this work? How does that work? And what's great about the group chat is everybody can kind of take turns sharing their perspective, sharing their story, answering questions. And I know some questions are coming through on the comments as well. Totally cool. But our goal is to get through the training, and then we'll do some Q&A here at the end, because some of your questions are going to be covered throughout this content. how to handle objections. How many of us get objections? Is this one of those pyramid things? How much time does this take? I don't have the money to get started. See, a lot of times the first question or objection is not the real question or objection. There's a deeper fear. Because let me put it like this. If someone says, I don't have the money, how many of us would agree that there's lots of people that don't have the money, which is why they join network marketing? That's why they get started. They don't have the freaking money. That's why they're joining. So what do? They find the money. They borrow the money. They sell something. If people truly believed, like if they knew for a fact they were going to be successful, would you agree they would find the money? If they knew for a fact the products worked, they would find the time, they would find the money, they would make it happen. The thing is, this is just my opinion, but I think most people are afraid to get their hopes up. They don't want to invest their money or time into something that doesn't work.
Right.
So I pre-qualify people. Like I pre-qualify their objection. Like, is this a pyramid? What do you mean by that? I don't have the money. What do you mean by that? Well, I only have a couple $100. Like, great. You don't have to get the big kit. Just get $200 kit, right? I mean, I have a full-time job. Oh, well, that's great. A lot of people have a full-time job. You can work this an hour a day. They're like, really? Like, absolutely. Some people think they got to do this full-time. Like, you'd be surprised by some of the objections people have, but you got to get them talking, right? To find out what the real objection is. And look, I don't like convincing people, but I know that if someone didn't handle some of my objections in the early days, back when I first got started, I wouldn't be here today in this profession. I would have quit.
Wow.
So thank God there was someone there to help me through.
Bold enough to lead you through the fog.
Thank God there was someone there bold enough to help me overcome my stinking thinking.
Wow. So good.
I'm very busy. I don't have enough time. Okay. Well, how much time do you have? I only have a couple hours a day that I can put into something like this. Perfect. Because how many should agree it's not about their time. It's about who they know. Because every dud knows a stud, number one, and every dud can become a stud. So it's not about like how much time do you have. Like I know people that work this 40 hours a week and they're struggling. And I know people that work it 2 hours a day and they're killing it. Time is not what's relevant. Production, right? Results. That's what matters. That's why we have systems in place. That's why we create the tools that we do. I don't have the money to get started. Well, that's exactly why we're having this conversation, so that you're in a better situation 6 months, 12 months, 2 years from now, so that money is no longer an issue. You know, I totally get it. How much money do you have, right? How much money do you have? Could you find the money? And you could always do feel, felt, found. How many of us know feel, felt, found? I know how you feel. Yeah. I felt the same way, but here's what I found. The reason I needed to get started, I didn't have the money. What I was doing wasn't working. Right. I couldn't afford not to do it. I needed to talk to my spouse. Fantastic. Can we add her to the chat? We can all talk together, right? Let me think about it. Okay, cool. What would you like the next step to be? Write that down. Write that down. That's one of my favorite questions. Yeah. When it's kind of like, I don't know what to say, and it's kind of like we've been going back and forth for a couple days, couple weeks, whatever. I just say, what would you like the next step to be?
So good.
Do you want to get on our Saturday team call that we have this Saturday? Do you want some more information on the products? Like, what do you want the next step to be? You want to hop on a call? We can have a conversation. By the way, I only hop on phone calls with personal recruits and big time A players that my team brings to the table. I don't do three-way calls outside of that. I do everything through Messenger. I've had people say, hey, can we hop on a call? Like someone that's like 5 levels removed, you know, they don't have a whole lot of interest. They're like, hey, can we hop on a call? And I'm like, listen, I wish I could hop on a call with everybody that's interested. But part of our system so that we don't burn people out is to use Messenger. So we can have all the conversations here and everything's recorded. So that way, if you ask a question, the answer will be here forever in this chat, versus if we get on a call and answer a question, you're going to forget what that answer was. Versus here, it's saved, it's documented. People can come back to this chat later and figure out what that answer is. And everything we're doing with you, we can do with your contacts. And people are like, holy crap, this is so great. All I got to do is introduce people to the groups, tag them in the same videos you tag me in, and put them in group chats with you, and you'll help answer their questions, and I make money. Yes, you can earn while you learn, baby. Let's go, babies. Are you ready? You see, you got to have fun. I'm telling you, most of you don't close business because you're too freaking stiff. Take the stick out of your butt, as Nadia says. That's so another great question. Can I ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, where you at? What do we got to do to make you a 10? Right? And it's just like a nice question. I'm not begging for the business. Listen, I could care less Now, I don't want to sound like arrogant, but it's like, I don't need anybody.
Yeah.
I don't need any one person. We need people to buy and join, but we don't need any one person.
That's right.
Capiche?
And in the beginning, you have to make up in numbers, which you like in skill. Look, there will be casualties.
Yeah.
If you're feeling bad right now, you go, oh, I messed up with this person and that person. Look, there will be casualties. That's okay. This is why we talk about embrace the suck. And for those of you that really feel that nervousness, you just don't feel 100% confidence in your ability to prospect, follow up, and close. Look, you gotta hone in on the skill set. This is why in module 2, we talked about the 30-day run, whether it comes to you mastering live video, whether it is for you to master prospecting, follow up, and close. If you go on a run for 30 days and you make a decision to talk to 10 people, 15, 20 people about your business, and you try different things, you try audio, you try funny, you try leading with the business, you try leading with the product. Look, you step it up, you mess it up. And what's gonna happen for you, because you have the mindset of, hey, I'm here to learn. Like, I am here to become a professional. Why? Because you want to generate a professional level of income. If you want to be a professional baseball player, they practice a lot.
Yeah.
And
they strike out more than they get hits.
Exactly. And for some reason, we have this faulty mindset about, oh, I'm just going to show up to the plate and every time hit a home run. It doesn't work like that. You're going to strike out sometimes. You're going to mess up the ball. You're going to make mistakes some days.
And by the way, those mistakes, those awkward conversations, saying the wrong ish, I realized real quick, I'm not going to say that ever again. I'm not going to do that next time. That did not work.
We talked about this. Sometimes you need to learn what not to do. Boom. And y'all, here's what's going to happen. I believe all of us have that personal flavor of prospecting. Like, there's certain components that you're going to figure out, kind of like doing a live video. You're going to find your own voice, your own way that you love to do it, that works for you. And that's going to just take for you to show up. So for those of you that needed to hear that conversation, look, it's not about perfection. It's not about memorizing word for word. It is way more important about your posture, your energy, you being you. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to use words that are not natural to you, you're going to turn people off, right?
And then the other thing too is you start to feel like you're selling.
Right.
I know for me, anytime I felt like I'm selling, I stopped myself. Well, not in the early days, but eventually I got to the point where if I felt like I was doing all the talking and selling, like if I felt like if you could see me on the screen,
let me take this
top
off.
Right corner.
I know.
Actually, I got this from Ray Higdon years ago. I thought it was really funny the way he put it. It's like if someone pulls back, do you lean in? Right? If I would have done that with Nadia, if Nadia would have been like playing hard to get, which she was, right? Now I was friendly. I was definitely intrigued. She piqued my curiosity, you know what I'm saying? But if I would have leaned in as she was pulling back, that's a turnoff. She'd have been like, oh, not interested, creeper, weirdo, get away, right? Not that she would say those mean things about her.
Yeah, but I would make my own conclusions.
Does this make sense? So if someone pulls back, you pull back, right? Don't lean in. That's posture. That's like, dude, I don't need you to join my business. I don't like, and it's interesting too, because there are some people where you're like, oh, they would crush it. They would so crush it, but they're so weak sauce. They're just being so like silly about this whole thing. There's so many limiting beliefs and they just have this analysis paralysis, but it's like, I'm not a psychologist, a therapist. Like, I'm not here to beg and convince you to join my business. I'd rather go find someone else and come back later and get you.
Right.
Because let me tell you something. If you leave people where they are, they'll still be there. A year or two, you follow up with someone. Hey, how you been? Like, still broke, still making excuses. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like, I'm not your life coach. Like, I'm here to help you make money if you're open and you're willing to do the work. How much money are you making? I don't know. I'm not done making it yet. Or you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Or I'm just getting started. I'm not doing this for short-term income. I'm doing this for long-term residual income. And then go back to why you're doing it. These are just some examples. All right. You got to do what works for you. But I think ultimately, when you get objection handling down, you become bulletproof.
Love it.
When you get the follow-up down, man, lights out. Like, I know this. If I put people in my tracker, right, in my follow-up book If I'm keeping track of people, I'm exposing people, like people are going to join. People, how many sort of great? People join your company every day. People buy your products every day. Maybe not from you, but somebody's buying your stuff. So are people joining your company every day? Hello? Are people buying your products every day? Yeah. So if they're buying and joining every day, the key is to get some of them, get a little piece of the pie. Get some of them joining you. So you know that people are joining every day. Why not you? Because you haven't talked to the right people yet, enough people yet. You haven't followed up with the people you've already talked to. 80% of sales or enrollments for network marketing, right? People joining your team, same difference. It's after 5 to 12 contacts, meaning they got on a Saturday call. They had a couple questions answered. Then maybe you sent them a video. Maybe they bought the product and they tried it. Now they're ready to join. It's just finding ways to keep them in the loop, to stay in touch, to get them to take that next step. They don't have to take the big leap and join right this second, but just getting them to take that next step. This is why you got to keep track of your people. I've got people that I've been following up with for weeks, even a handful that I follow up with after the course of months. I got this one woman, she's got 1 million followers on Instagram, always says she's going to join, just the timing isn't right. The timing isn't right. Now, every time I follow up with her, I'm not like, you ready to join? You ready to join? I do share testimonials with her of other influencers that are crushing it in our company. Cool. I do reach out. Hey, how you doing? It's not every week. It's not even every month. But I stay in touch. Now, she's not on my follow-up list at this point. I just remember to follow up with her because I know when she does come in, she's going to knock it out of the park. The point is you need to have a follow-up list, and you're constantly adding new people to that list, especially when you're new. Yeah. Adding people to that list every day is paramount. So if you want our 90-day tracker, mylifestyleacademy.com/tracker. We talked about this in module 2. This is where you can keep track of those money-making activities, what you're posting, what you're doing every day. Keep track of all your contacts, right? Everybody you ATM. There's a follow-up book in the back. So are we giving away a couple of these?
I love it. Yeah, let's take a pause, right? Let's take a pulse of you guys.
You guys all right?
How are you doing?
Is everybody doing okay? Look, it's interesting that this is the middle of the day. This is the morning or the evening, depending on where you are in the world. And we still have 166 people on live. I love it. Look at, we got South Africa on. What's up, Joan? I don't know if that's an option, unfortunately. What is? Downloading it? It's not, that's just not an option, right. Unfortunately. Now, of course, you could order it. The shipping's probably going to be a little bit pricey, but that's the only option we have for now. This is a totally different product.
Now, part of the ATM Academy, we're going to include a one-page follow-up, but you can create your own follow-up.
You don't have to have this.
That's really simple, right?
You don't have to have this.
But the reason why we created this beautiful tracker, the 90-day tracker, it's meant to help you really iron out this DMO, right? So it's going to walk you through our formulas that we're teaching you, the 15-7, the 5-5-3. You got the scripts in there. You got all the things in one tracker. So it's going to just make it much easier for you to integrate those workflows, frameworks, principles into your day-to-day, right? Okay, so let's do a giveaway. For those of you guys that are sharing, that are commenting, what?
Go to the bathroom real quick.
No, you can't go.
We'll drink a lot of water. I don't know what to say.
Listen, John, you stay focused on the task at hand. Okay, so let's do a giveaway. Let's do it this way, actually. I know that you guys have been sharing. I'm so grateful for that. I'd love to hear from you, though. What has been your number one takeaway so far? And I'm going to pick out a couple of my favorite ones. So what I see, it jumps at me, and we're going to ship you one of these beautiful trackers. And also, this is a huge tip for those of you that are newer to the industry, and maybe a lot of this content is new to you. What happens is we have to really get good at managing the overwhelm, because it's going to overwhelm is a choice, okay? But whenever you feel like your brain was put in a blender and blended with the top off, you gotta employ this practice. And the practice is, what's one tip, one idea, one strategy that I can implement today? And when you can do that, watch this too. What's going to happen for you is you're going to start to really build up your confidence. So there is a loop. How many of us have heard of the competence confidence loop? And here's what it teaches us, that the more competence that you develop in your daily method of operation, in your marketing, in your business, it's going to breed more confidence. How do you get that confidence happening and competence happening? You're taking baby steps. That's it. Sometimes we overthink it, right? Sometimes we think of an idea of building a 6-figure business and you get overwhelmed and you almost feel paralyzed, to take the next step.
That's right.
But if you're able to dial it all back, when in doubt, you're able to dial it back and say, what's one idea I learned from this lesson right now that I can employ right away? And then you employ it, you learn it, you start to see results, your confidence goes up, then you go back, you grab the next idea, and you keep doubling, tripling, quadrupling your strategies. Okay.
So many good takeaways.
John, I know. Let's go ahead and pick 5. You guys,
all right, let's do Mel. Mel, I like that. She said you can't have a testimonial without being tested.
Mel Rich.
So Mel Rich, you're the first winner.
Congratulations. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's see next. Baby, pick out more.
I'm going to do this one with Jenny Sales because she says, number 1, they will still be there.
Oh,
that's right.
See, that's so cool.
I mean, it's true. It's true. You can always go back and get them later. And they're going to be like, why didn't you tell me about that? Why didn't you tell me about this? Like, I did. You weren't listening. All right. So, baby, you can pick one.
Okay. I see Elena Pimentel. Baby, Followup is the most important. 553 is so good. 553 is so good. Congratulations. Okay, next.
I think it's so cool how many marketers we have in other companies and obviously in our own company as well, that this is the number 1 tool they use
Cameron
for their
Morrison
business.
Says, have an energy of abundance mindset.
Like to cut me off.
Yes. Well, I saw good
All
one.
Right, so that's it. Let's move on to this.
No, one more. I said 5.
Oh, 5. Oh, my bad. I thought you said 4.
So write down
my
Cameron.
Bad, girl. My bad, boo.
Morrison. And you guys, have you seen our team is on? Our beautiful support team is on. So they're going to reach out to you, but essentially we're going to get you to send us an email with your shipping address, right? So we can ship it. And by we, I mean UPS, but it sounds so fancy when I say we ship it. Maybe I'll send John over to your house for personal delivery. All right, baby, pick one more.
Some fun. I mean, these are all good. Like,
I know.
I'm gonna close my eyes and just pick one. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna scroll up and I'm gonna scroll
down. You guys
down.
are
Ready?
crushing it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Crushing it. That's so good.
Debbie Jones, DEBI. If you're thinking of quitting, do you think that's going to get you closer to your goal? Oh, yeah. Okay, so Debbie Jones. So the Very 5 of you just won the tracker. The rest of you need to buy it.
But do you see? That's funny. Yeah. You guys, I want you to also pick up the little things that John does, that I do, that are like nonchalant, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's a confidence thing because we
just want you to win and succeed. But if you hate making money and crushing it and having organization, don't get the tracker.
Okay, that's true.
Just having fun. All but right. You know what we're doing. We're having a good time. We are. But we also realize that this is a phenomenal tool, just like the ATM Business Academy.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have this academy available for all network marketers. Like I was on a Clubhouse last night and everybody wants to understand ATM. And I was like, hello. You know, they had me talk, of course, but I wanted to say, hello, we have an ATM Business Academy.
Yeah.
But I also was on someone else's Clubhouse. So I was answering questions. I wasn't pitching my thing, but we're the only ones that have created an ATM course in all of network marketing. We are the ones that created this strategy along with the elite leaders inside of our company. We were the ones that put this together, and we were the first network marketers on social media to start teaching people how to build a network marketing business on social media from social media. Like there was like the Ray Higdons of the world and all these other network marketing trainers that were out there, but a lot of them were YouTubers. They were bloggers. Right. We were teaching on Facebook generically. My first video was 2013 of January of 2013. So we've been doing this for over 8 years of putting out content and teaching people how to use social media to build their businesses, y'all. And that was before we were even really making a fortune. We were making 6 figures, but not a fortune. So I'm just telling you, like, what we've been doing for a very long time. We figured out what works and what doesn't work. And we just want you to win.
I love it.
So here's 3 major keys to effective follow-up. Number 1, keep your promises.
Yes.
Always do what you said you do. If you said I'm gonna follow up with you tomorrow, follow with them tomorrow. Now, is it the worst thing if you forget to follow up? No. Sometimes it's kind of a good thing if someone's dragging their feet. It's sometimes kind of a good thing to like let them linger for a couple of days. Maybe they'll follow up with you. Maybe you change the subject. We'll talk about some of that, but just keep your promises, right? Be a person of integrity. If you say you're going to do something, do it.
Yeah, be a good human.
Isn't that who we want to work with? People that if they say they're going to do something, they do it. Number 2, get organized. Get organized. Use a planner, a digital calendar, a 90-day tracker, whatever works for you. But I will say this: we also have our own calendars, of course, right? That the tracker doesn't have a calendar. I still use, believe it or not, I still use a physical calendar. I'm curious how many of you use a physical calendar. I have the at a glance. I still use it. I love it. I know a lot of people use digital calendars as well, and that's cool. Hey, whatever works for you. Okay. But if you're treating your business like a hobby, you're going to get hobby results. Hobbies don't pay the bills. That's why it's a hobby. So get organized, get serious. Number 3, keep them in the loop. Keep them in the loop. Create a relationship with your best prospects. Connect with them on social media. Hop on a call. Do a FaceTime. Get together for lunch if they're local. Keep them in the loop when there's new product launches, when there's a big event coming up. Like tonight, we're going live in one of our ATM groups. We're giving away a Peloton, but we're giving away a Peloton at the end. So we're going to be talking about the company, the products, and the opportunity for the first 30 minutes. And then we give away the Peloton at the end. So people have to sit through and hear stories and learn more about the opportunity. And look, again, we're not here to beg or convince anybody, but some people just don't know what's possible. They don't know the kind of success that's possible in an opportunity or a product that, you know, whatever company you're in, whatever you're representing. And when your prospect stops responding, which by the way, very, very normal, never assume they're purposely ignoring you or purposely avoiding you. They might have just missed the message. Maybe they had something going on. Maybe their kid was on their iPad.
Life got in the way.
Opened the message. They never even saw it. It was the kid that opened up the message. So you're like, oh my gosh, they saw it. They didn't respond. They ignored me. How dare you?
And you start to globalize.
You start to assume.
Has this ever happened to you? And then all of a sudden it becomes this negative spiral.
You're blowing things. And then you're like, Facebook shut my account down.
I've been
shadowed. And then really it's just like the whole Facebook website was jacked up. I hate my phone. I've never said that before.
Anyways, isn't that funny how, you know,
we blow things out of proportion.
You can go live and you can have 100 positive comments and then you get one criticizer, one troll with a goal. And isn't it funny how our brain works? We gravitate towards the one person, the one comment that said a little something negative. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Meanie head.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we talked a lot about that. So when your prospect stops responding, here's a great question to ask. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I love that.
That gets a phenomenal response. You will be shocked by how many people respond to that. Actually, most people respond to that.
Yeah.
You could also send them a funny GIF, whatever.
GIF.
How about go love on their posts?
Yeah.
Love in their Instagram or Facebook story. You know how many times I've loved on someone's post and then they send me a message? Hey, so sorry, been super busy. Didn't mean to, put you on a hold, but just got a lot going on. Would love to get on that Saturday call you mentioned, or would love to, pick your brain about a couple things. Just simply changing the subject is one of the most powerful things you can do, because again, it goes back to like, I am not just here to sell and pitch you. I actually want to be your friend or reconnect with you. It's just, and again, you do it in an authentic way. I hope we can all appreciate that. I hope you understand that that's our goal. Our goal is to, identify good humans and provide value, even if they never join. Like I said in the beginning, what if they refer your training to someone on their team and that person buys your program? That person, maybe someone in your network shares your video and they never join your business or buy your product, but the person they shared it with ends up being one of your top producers. One of my biggest organizations in the history of my network marketing career, which is still one of my biggest teams today, came from someone that came from a referral.
What?
And that referral did not join my business. Yeah. If still no response, hey, Sam, it looks like you got a lot going on right now. No big deal. I can totally relate. I got a lot going on too. I can just cross you off my list. People hate being crossed off the list. And by the way, my goal is to cross people off my follow-up list. I either want to circle their name because they joined or cross them off my list. Why? Because now I have an abundant mentality of like, I need to add more people to this list. I feel like I sometimes live in scarcity when I'm following up with the same people. Like it feels needy, desperate, pushy. Like I don't want to feel like that. So it's like my goal is to get you off my list.
That's right.
Yes, no, but tell me soon because I gotta go. Right? Like that's the mindset we need to have.
I love that.
So and I love saying if you have any questions or need anything, you know where to find me.
That's
right?
perfect.
They can always reach out on Messenger.
That's so cool.
So here's a couple of productivity hacks that we're going to hook you up with.
So let's do this one. Yes. I get excited about this. I don't know if you've noticed this over the last 2.7 modules, if we're going to be analytical about it, but math was my minor, and creating these workflows, it's kind of like parenting. How many of us that are parents, we learned that children love structure. When you give them 1, 2, 3 ABCs, what's expected, how they can sort of like play the game, right? We all love it. So when it comes to your productivity, I want you to always think about how can we catch that bird's eye view about your daily activities, and how can we optimize and systemize even more. So here's an idea for you. You can actually automate the repetitive messages. You can also have this beautiful idea with your videos. So when you start to prospect a lot, you start to connect with a lot of your customers, you have a lot of customers coming on board, and you start to notice, and this is going to be a deeper dive in module number 4, but we're going to start to really develop more of a leadership curriculum for your organization, where if you continue to hear the same questions over and over again, why not create a template, a video, a resource, so you can then tag people that have the same questions, so you don't have to repeat yourself. When it comes to you having conversations in your messenger, how many of us have already identified the fact that there's certain questions, certain things that continue to come up, or certain instructions? Maybe when somebody is ready to get started, now you got to give them the steps to go ahead. So here's what you do. Step 1 is you open up your Facebook Messenger. Step 2, you type your own name. How many of you, let me know in the comments, how many of you didn't even know you could do this? This is pretty crazy. And then step 3, you can now repeat the answer that you continue to repeat, right? You could either do a voice message, or you can type out that text response. So that way, next time you need that XYZ, you can just go to your own name, copy, paste. You get it? Now, another idea for you, how many of you are familiar with an iPhone? Now, you can also do this with an Android. Just Google it, YouTube it. How do I do text replacement shortcut on my, and you can
I just give you an example?
Specific phone.
I just want to give an example. Like, how many of us, you have to type up your address a lot, or your website, or your email, things like that. You should absolutely, like, I'll just give you a quick example. For our support email, I type in my phone S1. When I hit S1, boom, it automatically populates support@mylifestyleacademy.com. I don't want to type that.
I know, it's tedious.
S1, boom. I will say with Droid is interesting, because Droid actually does save some of the things automatically. So if I put like MY for My Lifestyle Academy, it pops up automatically.
Interesting.
Where with my iPhone, it does not. So I use the keyboard shortcuts. But this is definitely a lifesaver. If you have the same things you're saying over and over again, no brainer. No brainer to use keyboard shortcuts. Facebook Messenger, I save a lot of messages that I use over and over again that are maybe longer, or certain things that are like screenshots. Like we'll get people that will ask like, about vegan collagen, right? And for us, we know that that's not really a thing. We sell liquid collagen. So I have this like, screenshot of our CEO that responded to that. And I saved that in my messenger, meaning I sent it to myself. So anytime someone asks that, I just share the screenshot of her answer. Do you guys get that?
You can also do that with testimonials.
Oh yeah.
So just think about those little things that
you keep sharing. What countries are you in?
Yes.
Right. What are the kits to get started?
Yes.
Maybe every time you're added to a group chat, like what you should do is compose a message that you share in every group chat. Little introduction, your story, whatever. And the unfortunate thing is you can't do keyboard shortcut for that because it's
so long.
When there's paragraphs, it doesn't break up the paragraphs for keyboard shortcut, at least not at the time of this recording. So those are messages, those longer messages that I'll save. So again, I'm sending it to myself. So if I search my own name, John Melton, on Messenger, boom, I can pull up those messages.
Yeah. So this is that.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to teach you this. It's too methodical. Remember, you just Google it. You Google it. How do you create? But we wanted to give you those little things that, yes, once you set it up, it's beautiful because now you have these shortcuts. You're more productive. You can sort through the things that only you can do. And then you essentially become what is it, traffic director? How's that one analogy go, baby, where you're directing the traffic,
right?
You know what I mean? Like you hear, you go, ooh, okay, over here.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Just pointing them.
Are you picking up what we're putting down? Let us know in the comments. Okay, here's one more, I promise you, and we're done. You're doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of you. I know we threw everything at you but the kitchen sink, but here's the good news, right? Is you can go back and you can watch it again. And I recommend you watch this over and over again until we can wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I can ask you, tell me top 2 productivity tips, go, Right. Okay.
Concur.
All right.
I think it's really important for us to get organized with, those tedious tasks. So that so we can be more efficient and effective and we can keep track of people. So on Facebook, you can actually create lists.
Okay.
You can Google this. So we're not going to walk you through it, but you can actually create customized lists where it's like just your customers, just your hot prospects, just your team leaders, right? Where you could change the list so that everybody you see in your news feed are just people that are part of that list, if you will. So super cool idea, really great way to keep track. You could do things like, you could use tools like Project Broadcast to keep track of all your customers. You could use TeamZ or other CRMs. Let us know in the comments. What are your favorite CRMs? Yeah. What are your favorite tools to keep track of people and build lists? You can build an email list. I mean, there are things you can do that are more advanced that we don't really get into teaching, mostly because there's so many different options. And we're not a believer in teaching stuff like that because there's not just one way to do it. There's so many different tools out there. And we have leaders that really like one tool over another, and that's totally cool. It's up to you. All we do is give suggestions, give advice, provide value, provide options when it comes to those more high level options, right? Because there are a lot of great tools out there. It's just figuring out what works best for you and what you're trying to accomplish. So if you're creating lists on Facebook, open up Facebook on your computer. This part, unfortunately, cannot be done from your phone. A lot of people don't know about lists, but it's super helpful to keep track of specifically friends on Facebook. Right? Yeah. You go to your homepage, you click on friend lists, and then click on create list. All right. So again, you can always Google it. There's videos on YouTube and stuff that very simply show you that. But this is just a great way to stay in touch with your best contacts or your customers, right? You go love on all your customers' posts or your leaders' posts. Prospects, exactly.
Like your A-list prospects. And I think that would be a killer list to have.
And I love this right here. This is something I heard years ago, and I was like, damn, that's good. 70% of your competition, it's indecisiveness.
Boom.
It's not other companies. If you're selling health and wellness, you think, oh, my competitors are, this company, this company, this company, they have a similar product, or that's the company. No, your biggest competitor, it's people that can't make a decision. They're undecided. They're on the fence. Those are the people that if you could just get an extra 10%, 20%, 30% of the undecided, your business would freaking explode. Explizode. All right, let's do some Q&A. I know we've been rocking this conversation for quite some time.
Crushed it. And can I just say this, and then we'll do a Q&A, you guys. Let's make sure we did not leave any stones unturned. And if you want to really just honor us, because I can say it myself, we crushed it. Sometimes you got to compliment yourself, y'all, right? But look, if you got a ton of value from today's session, if you're with us for the last 3 sessions, can I encourage you to go to this link? You can just take a screenshot, facebook.com/My Lifestyle Academy, which is our business page. We're on it right now together. And then /reviews. We just activated that feature, and we'd love for you to leave a review on what has our training, our business page, our content, what has it done for you in your business. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. And we are going to even incentivize you to do so as well. So we do want to do a raffle. So at the end of the week, we're going to do a raffle from those of you that leave us a review, and we're going to give away a Diva ring light. So it's a couple $100 value. We want to help you, up your brand and up your videos and make you feel all fancy and fabulous and busy in your studio at your house. So mylifestyleacademy.com/reviews. To answer another question, for those of you that want the recordings of this training, right? As you know, this is going to stay up for 24 hours. We're going to take it down tomorrow at 11:59 a.m. because we're going to go live with module number 4.
Yeah.
But if you want to get edited trainings and you want to get the PDFs and all the resources, you can go ahead and enroll in ATM Business Academy. It is super discounted right now. It's we wanted to give you a special offer, $97. At the end of the week, this is going to expire because once all of this is edited and done, the price of our academy is going to be $297. If you're an existing member of ATM Business Academy, you're going to be grandfathered into the new curriculum. But if you're not a student of ATM Business Academy, we wanted to make sure that you knew that you could do that. Okay, so let's do Q&A. Let's make sure that you are good. Let us know in the comments below. Feel free to let us know your biggest takeaway. What is
Maybe
your
you
question?
Put the link up also yeah, there you go.
Oh, you mean back?
No, right there. That's good.
But right now I already switched.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Just so that way, if people are like, "What's the?" Yeah, that's what always happens. Well, how do I buy the course? How do I get the PDFs? How do I get the scripts? How do I get in this for lifetime access at the super deep discount? Oh yeah, take a screenshot.
Oh yeah.
Share that with your teams.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can't share the course with your team, but they can buy it for themselves at $97. I mean, it's like. It's kind of funny, right? I know some of us are like, how is it only $97? Or how is it only $297 when the price goes up back to the regular price? Because we want to make sure it's affordable for the majority of network marketers. And most network marketers, the reason they're in network marketing is they don't have money. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we can make it $497, $997, and people would definitely still buy this. We could probably charge a monthly, $97, but it's just, that's not our focus. Our focus is just to level up the profession, do our best to provide value. Yeah, of course we make money from people buying the course, but to be honest, it's not that profitable because it really is a matter of how much we're investing.
It supports our team.
Exactly. How much we're investing in running. Exactly.
Right?
So for us, it's not about making money. We make a fortune in our network marketing business. We do really well with our investments, especially over the last couple of years. Like we've gotten that all dialed in and next leveled. Is that a good word?
Yeah.
For us, it's like legacy. It's like, we've been doing this for so long. Like I think we first started our Facebook group, My Lifestyle Academy. Mm-hmm. That was like 2013 or 14, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. And we just love helping this profession. We love how many people have come back to us over the years. I was on Clubhouse this morning and Tom and Kim Shallon, or it was Tom, Kim wasn't on, but they're just this incredible couple. And Tom's like, if it wasn't for John and Nadia and their ATM system, we would not be where we are today in our business. They're like the top earners in their company. And it's just like, that was just this morning.
Super
like
cool.
We get testimonials all the time of how we impacted people. And it's to us, it's not about money. Mm-hmm. It's just like, we just want to help people in this profession because we know how much these strategies, but how much these strategies have helped us build a multi-million-dollar business. And some of it obviously is very specific to what we do inside of our company that we've tried to, make it very generic for all of you, because I think even if you're in a company where they don't really embrace social selling and they don't use the ATM system, like you can create all of this on your own. You really can.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right, let's do the Q&A. Thank you, guys. I love all your beautiful comments. Can you just copy paste that in the review, please, on our business page? I want to look at it forever.
So here's a good question.
Okay.
How do I add a prospect to an ATM group without being friends on Facebook? You can't. You
Okay.
can't. And you don't want to, because here's why. First of all, if you have a group that's private and hidden, the only people that can add people are people that are members. And it has to be a Facebook friend. So the only way you could do it technically is if the group wasn't private. But the problem with having a public group or a group that's visible is that anybody can join it, and then you won't know who's adding who to the group.
Okay.
So you're going to have to friend them up. If someone doesn't want to be your Facebook friend, is that really a quality prospect? Probably not. Right? How many people do you suggest we ATM a day or week so we don't seem spammy? You know, it just really depends. I mean, seeming spammy, I'm not worried about seeming spammy. I'm looking for people that are open to an opportunity. And I said 553. So really, you know, if you follow that rule, right, and just do the math, like per week, if it's 3 people a day, that's 21 people over the course of a week. But I think you should try to add as many as possible, right? Like, if people are open, that's when you're ATMing them. You're not adding people to the group without talking to them first. Okay. Are you still friends with the same people prior to starting your business? Yeah, some of them, of course. Absolutely. I mean, I have some friends from high school that, you know, I've been friends with for, you know, longer than I've known Nadia, right?
Wow.
For, you know, 2.5 decades. So 3 decades. Yeah. Right. Since I was 10. I don't know if I'm still friends with people from 10, but probably like 14, 13, you know, like those ages. So yeah, absolutely. I'm still friends with some of those people. I mean, you know, we don't have a lot in common except our past, you know, but still we talk about sports and other things, and, you know, they love talking about politics. I just laugh at them. Tekla. That's an interesting name. It's like Nadia. God bless you.
Oh my gosh.
Gorgeous. Thank you so much for this eye-opening training. I have 2 questions. I'm a party planning company since March. I've been doing Facebook parties. What script would you use to add those guests as friends on Facebook to build a relationship since they only just met me? Where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. I thought it was like buried. I do invite them to join my customer community, but I'd like to get to know them too. I mean, just a lot of what we talked about, right? Catch up, connect. You know, if you want to write this down, form, family, occupation, recreation, message. Where are you from? You know, what do you do for fun, right? Family and where you're from. That's the F. O, occupation. What do you do for a living? The R, what do you do for fun, recreation, right? And then M, deliver a message. Hey, I'd love to share something with you. You seem like an awesome person. If you're open, great. If not, no big deal.
Right.
Do you make money online right now? No. Would you like to? Do you make money online right now? No. Would you like to?
That's good.
And here's the thing. Sometimes you don't even have to pop the question. They're going to see your posts. What do you do? What's that product? Hey, explain this to me. Tell me more. Yeah, Luis, there is a limit. I delete friends every day on Facebook. I delete people every day. If someone's not engaging, nobody has 5,000 engaged friends. It's very rare that I come across anybody that's been more active on Facebook for longer than I have. And I still delete people every day, especially people. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but if someone's never going to be a prospect for my business, or I would never want them to be, they're just like some old friend I used to work with in the restaurant business that I never talk to, delete. Yeah. It's not, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's like, we don't talk, we have nothing in common. I wouldn't recruit them. They're not interested. Like, right? Oh, we went to high school, barely know you, barely knew you then. Why am I friends with you? Right? So just start deleting people every day. Make it a habit to delete people that are not engaging every day. In fact, go through your Facebook friends. You go through it like alphabetically. You just click on friends. You're going to see a lot of people have actually shut down their Facebook account. I would probably say 1% of my friends, which, you know, out of 5,000, that's a decent number. It's like 50 people.
For those of you guys that are more advanced, if you have a virtual assistant, you can have your virtual assistant do it. Okay, so I saw a question, Jennifer. Should we put all of our Facebook friends on a list in order to reach out to them? No,
it's just too time consuming.
I would just integrate that from now moving forward. Boom. So when you conversate, like let's say you start doing the 553. So you're going to friend up, or you're going to reconnect with 5 people every day. So just as you connect with the person, put them on a list, connect with person, put them on a list, and just moving forward, make it a practice.
Sean, yeah, we promote on our personal profile. Just look at my personal profile. You know, I provide value. Can you read the
question just so that way we know what we're talking about?
He says, just so I'm clear, you recommend promoting on the personal page, which personal profile. A page is a business page. So just make sure you understand that distinction, and creating a private page for potential. You're talking about a group. Yes. So you might have just watched this session 3 for the first time. So it's tough because if you miss session 1 and 2, you're not going to know exactly what we're talking about if you never heard this training. But yeah, we create private Facebook groups to add prospects.
Julia says, juicy stuff.
Juicy.
Oh, I love that.
How do you keep up with so many three-way chats? You respond at certain times. Yeah, you could have a schedule, Natasha. You could totally do that. For me, I typically, like for my schedule, I typically respond to chats in the morning. And then, I do respond throughout the day, but not as aggressively as I do in the mornings. But then I also have my virtual assistant. She goes in and responds to messages early in the morning, like before I even wake up, and also late at night. So she'll respond to a lot of the initial message she'll do. And then once the person's engaging in the conversation, I'll get involved, hop in there and be more involved. It also, I'm just very conscious of like the group chats, where they're coming from. Like if they're like newer teams where I'm like the main leader, I'm responding to those fast, right? But if it's like, there's a bunch of elite chat, like I'm not saying I won't respond, but I don't need to be as proactive on that one because there's a bunch of leaders that are already responding.
I love it.
Did we get every question?
We did.
When you add new people, do you give them certain number of people to add every day? When you add new people, do you give them certain number of people to add every day?
That will be module 4. Y'all, tomorrow, you want to make sure you join us live at noon because we're going to elevate this conversation now. Now let's talk a little bit about, okay, now that you have your own DMO dialed in, you have your own optimization set up. So now what do we teach to our team? Right. What are those leadership?
What's the onboarding, the launch process, the duplication? I will give you these 3 tips real quick. 3 things that I want a new person to do. I want them to start ATMing. I want them to put me in group chats, and I want them to launch their business publicly. I like Jenny's question. If I join the ATM Academy now, would I have access to those expired trainings? Oh yeah, Jenny, that's the whole point. We're re-recording the entire program. The entire ATM Business Academy is being recorded this week with all of you live. So those of you that buy the course, mylifestyleacademy.com/live offer. If you want to put that back on, I don't know.
Okay. And we'll link to it too.
So anyway,
if you're watching
the point is,
replay, you can just
you purchase this course. Once all of these trainings are edited, we will then put them in the back office.
We'll replace the old with the new.
Booyah. And then I love this too.
Like a TikTok, like shook. And then it's like,
should it all? Jennifer Adams Parker said, I did the 553 yesterday and it was well received.
Love it.
Love it. Tammy says, so if a prospect says they're not sure they have enough time, and then you ask how much time do you need, and they ghost you, what do you respond? I mean, this is where you go back to like, are you okay? Send a funny GIF. Go love on their post. Change the subject. One of those 4 things. Makes sense?
Yeah. And never assume they're ghosting you, by the way, please. If you're going to assume, just assume that life got in the way. Maybe something happened.
And you don't want to, and you don't, and also
need her attention.
And you also, Tammy, you don't want to say how much time do you need. You want to say how much time do you have? Right? I don't have time for this. Well, how much time do you have? Well, I mean, maybe 5 hours a week. Perfect. Whatever the response is, perfect.
Okay.
Working on creating my ATM group now, says Natasha.
I love it.
That's exciting.
That is awesome.
Loving all this info, says Jenny Sales. Jenny.
You're awesome, Jenny.
I love your last name. You should crush it in this business. Norbert says instead of the group. Not sure. Oh, our team doesn't have a Facebook group with videos. We have it on a web page. Can the same process just, I would not do a page. We did that back in the day. Listen, you can do whatever you want, but if I were you, I'd want a group. Groups are way more powerful than sending someone to a capture page, a website, a YouTube channel. I mean, if that was effective, we would do it, but it's just not.
And here's how I want you to think about the different format of content. Okay, so on Facebook, we have the different modalities.
Right.
You got the personal profile, you got your business page, and then you got the Facebook group. So your personal profile is what your everyday person has. And remember, in network marketing, it's not just about what works, it's about what duplicates. And can an average person, somebody that's a stay-at-home mom who just wants to make a couple $100 extra a month, we have to have a very simple 1, 2, 3 ABC. Okay. Now, business page, here's how we see our John and Nadia business page. We do not use this page, y'all, just to be clear, to build our network marketing business. We use this platform, essentially, it's like a billboard. This is what it is. It's a billboard. And we showcase our best content. We showcase our best training tools, but we're doing it to build our personal brand for a legacy. Okay. Now, Facebook group is what Facebook is focused on right now. They want people building their own communities. They want to give you an opportunity to build the exclusive communities, right?
And the communities have social proof.
Right.
There's social proof that you're not going to have on the website. You get testimonials and stuff, but to see posts that have like hundreds of likes, thousands of comments over time, like it's powerful. People are like, dang, look at all these people that are getting in on this deal. This is tight. Natasha said, will you guys be covering units
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yep. So tomorrow we're going to dive into specifically logistics of your team training group.
All
so
you green personalities, all you
tomorrow,
greens,
you're going to
love it.
You be ready.
You're going to love it.
You be ready.
Another 2 hours and 10 minutes of content.
Wow,
y'all, this was fire. I hope you loved it. I feel sorry for people that didn't see it. They're just going to make less money than you. So go you.
I love the way you say that. That's hilarious. I love
it. If you hate money, don't get the ATM Business Academy. If you hate money, don't get it.
Oh, thank you, Christine.
You rock.
Louise says, on content creation, how much time would you recommend to dedicate on creating content? How much for the ATM group? We're going to talk about the, for the ATM groups, how much time dedicated. I mean, it's meant to be a community, and hopefully you're running your ATM communities with other people as well.
Right.
So it's really, the less work that I have to do, the better. So I want you to think of ways on how you can create user-generated content. If you've heard of that beautiful combination of words, essentially, how can we engage your customers to share the results?
That's right.
Your teammates to, share what they've been doing, right?
So it shouldn't just be you. It shouldn't just be you creating content. It's a community. It's a group, but you want to get a lot of people, in the group as soon as possible. Other teammates, everyone can help out. It's just tough to answer the question, like how much time would you recommend dedicating? Depends how much time you have, in the beginning.
It's going to take longer in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
And like now it's so much easier for us to create a piece of content. And plus we have content for days, for literally for years, because we created so much content. And of course you can repurpose, you can reuse the same content. Like a great quote, a great meme, a great video, great topic. That same thing will be just as good a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Like there's some of the most tagged videos and before and after pictures are like years old in some of our ATM groups. It's kind of crazy.
That's right.
But it was only created one time. That's the beauty. If people are tagging their contacts in, it's still today, years later.
Awesome. All right, baby. Well, this is a wrap. Okay. I hope you loved it. Let us know in the comments below. I'd love to see a review on our business page. That would be amazing. Remember, we're going to do that giveaway at the end of the week. You have 24 hours to watch this replay. So feel free to share with your teammates. Feel free to go back and watch it again so you can really soak up as many nuggets as possible. And John and I are super grateful. So thank you so much for your energy. Thank you for being here. And I'm excited to see you all tomorrow.
Yeah. Any additional questions, you can email our support team, support@mylifestyleacademy.com. Peace out.